Hello and welcome to another episode of the Connect Cape Fear podcast, a place where people from all over this great region come to find connection and community in this beautiful place that we call home. Our guest today, and the reason why we're so casually dressed today is because we have the Mobile Mermaid herself, Miss Kasia Foltyn, on the episode today. Kasia, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Rob. I'm doing very well. I'm a little moist.
Oh, yeah.
I literally got out of a pool and drove over here. Does the sweatsuit make my mermaid fin look a little fat?
I think you're true to character, and I wore my Be Cool poolside T-shirt today.
I see that
because I was like, we're gonna fit perfectly in here.
SEA. See that?
See what I did there?
What I did there?
Let's start off with a quick joke. What is a pirate's favorite letter of the alphabet?
I.
You think it's the R, but it's really the C.
Oh, it is.
Pretty
nice
good.
One.
You can use that.
I am going to
with
borrow
every
that.
kid.
I'm going to borrow
from
that.
this point forward.
Okay.
Tell us about the Mobile Mermaid. Let me just preface this by saying this is take two.
This is take
of
two.
This episode, because the first one we had an audio failure. That's on me. It happens sometimes in the business of podcasting and content creation, but I feel way more prepared for this one because now I know way more about the Mobile Mermaid, pierogies for the people, Will Meet, all the amazing things that you do. Let's start with the Mobile Mermaid because we live at the ocean. Kids need to know how to swim in the ocean. Riptides and undercurrents and all those things are very real things. And if you want to take full advantage of this beautiful place that we call home, water safety should be paramount.
Absolutely.
For the parents that are listening to this. So tell us a little bit about the Mobile Mermaid.
The Mobile Mermaid, me, and a solo aquapreneur. That's a new Kasia word. I have been in the water teaching for 43 years. I and my twin brother were two of the youngest certified lifeguards in America. I was this tall at 13.
Wow.
Y'all do the math.
She's sitting down right now.
Right. Y'all do the math. No scale.
Yeah.
Ha, mermaid.
Hey.
Ha. I truly am one of a rare human that gets to say that I've done what I absolutely cherish doing my entire life. I'm in the water pretty much all the time, from the 1st of May through the beginning of September, mid-September. Winter swimmies are different. If you've got a heated pool, I will drive to you. But yeah, I get to do what I absolutely cherish doing, Rob.
Yeah. Do what you love doing. You never work a day the rest of your life.
Never
right?
worked. I've done some things, some other things.
Yeah, everybody's had some side quests that we went on.
But the Mobile Mermaid, since I moved to Wilmington 7.5 years ago, the community has embraced me. I'm so thankful. We've got amazing people around here in our Cape Fear region.
Yeah.
Amazing families, amazing kids, amazing grandparents and great-grandparents that have reached out to me to help their little humans, their guppies, with water safety. So, yeah.
That's fun. Humans and guppies. Like it's a new species coming together.
It is,
You're one of the happiest people I've ever met, and I think it's probably because you spend so much time in the water. There's tons of science behind that if you're in, on, around water, that you're more likely to be happy. Is there any connection in your brain to what you do, to why you carry yourself and you always kind of bring a little extra light into a room whenever you step in it?
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was really kind. The fact that I'm in water with babies, because a lot of people ask me, why are you always so happy? What's with your joy? Mm-hmm. And I tell them, I ask them, do you know what I get to do?
You play all day.
I literally, and that's another part of it, playing, children playing learn very well. I'm not going to pontificate about what I believe as the public school system that I grew up in. I don't have any children of my own. I count thousands as mine. But I think that being closed in, literally boxed in, is a problem for learning.
Yeah.
But being outside in fresh air, sunshine, okay, overcast weather sometimes, but being in a body of water, that's just full on amazing.
Yeah.
And then I get to be in the water with little humans. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. And then seeing their joy come through with progress.
Yes.
Like learning life skills like resilience and toughness and
getting to their closest safe and to always reaching up because you can't get to safe reaching down.
Yeah.
And the joy on their parents and their grandparents and sometimes great grandparents' faces.
Yeah.
That's just a whole lot of amazing to witness on a daily basis.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's kind of talk through your process a little bit. So for those of you that might be watching this that don't live in the Cape Fear region or in and around Wilmington, North Carolina, we're surrounded by water. We live on a peninsula. We have a river to our west. We have an intercoastal waterway and then the Atlantic Ocean. Tons of pools. And if you live here, good chance that you're going to boat, you're going to fish, you're going to go to the beach, you're going to surf, you're going to be in some body of water for a larger percentage of your life than what other people might be able to experience. And for me, having grown up in and around the water safety is paramount. I want to be able to safely know that I can go over to Masonboro Island, park my boat, and that my kids have the fundamentals and the intellectual understanding of what it means to be safe in the waterway. Can you talk a little bit about your process at the Mobile Mermaid and how, parents might be able to better understand what it is you do, how you do it, and then what some of those outcomes are if they choose to give you a call after this, which I hope you do. And
to book for 2025.
Oh, you're booked out for the whole year?
Pretty much.
Wow.
I'm very thankful.
Good problem
very
to have.
thankful. It's a really nice problem to have.
Good problem to have.
My process is we must speak to schedule. There's a method to my madness. There always has been. I glean a lot of information from you as a dad for telling me information as we're speaking about your child or children. That's paramount. I find out a lot of times if there are any special needs, if there are any perceived limitations, and we decide where we're going to meet. Usually many people have access to a body of water or a pool. If not, I do have pools that are available to me for us to use. And we literally take it one-on-one, even with multiples, twins, triplets, quads. 5 children in one family. I'll assess all at once, one-on-one attention. This is a life skill that they're learning. I think it deems enough for one-on-one attention. Always blowing bubbles out. You have a positive airflow going out. Water cannot seep in. We know that if water leaks, it is invasive and entirely destructive.
Yeah.
In this case, that destruction might be called drowning.
Yeah.
We want a positive airflow out so that water has a better chance of not encroaching in the airway. And to always get to your closest safe. That closest safe might be reaching up daddy's shoulders. It might be reaching up to their wall. It might be getting to the safe steps. It might be getting to a ladder. It might be reaching up on a noodle. It's learning the difference between grabbing onto a pool noodle versus a blow-up beach ball that they can't get a firm hold of. The physics and the geometry are wrong. But in order for them to learn and make those split decisions, they get to experience that in the water in the safety of their parents, grands, myself in the water with them once they've gotten to that point. So
yeah.
The end is we schedule swimmies for 3, 4, 6 lessons, depending on if it's let's say a grandchild is coming in for Memorial Day weekend or week. Then the grandparents will reach out and say, hey, they're going to be in for 3 days. Can we do concentration? Sure, we can.
Yeah.
If our schedules allow, or usually it's once a week. Children are brilliantly resilient, and our brains are amazingly plastic. They learn, and we just build on from lesson number 1 to, who has to be with you when you come to the water? What do you have to say when you are deciding to launch yourself off of the steps? Mommy swimming, daddy swimming, papa swimming, and get to your closest safe. And then we go to the next lesson, and then we build on the lesson number 3, and then we go to 4. And then sometimes children do amazingly well in a couple of lessons.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes 6 lessons. I will not get out of the water with a child, regardless of age, until they can get to their closest safe and out. Mm-hmm. At 6 months old, a child is turning over from their tummy to back to tummy. I want them to get to their steps and just scream literally for their lives.
Yeah.
I want an 11-month-old to literally hang on by their tiny little fingertips on the side of the pool and scream for their lives. They're literally hanging on for dear life.
Do y'all do scream practice?
No, they do it. They do it naturally.
Yeah.
It's a survival instinct,
right.
that they know that they're literally holding on, and they do. They that's their way to communicate. Mm-hmm. That's their way to communicate. Hey, I might need some help.
Help me, please.
Yeah. I need help here.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Can you, real quick in the next couple minutes, because I want to talk about your real passion, pierogies for the people, because I'm hungry and I want to talk about
It
food.
is lunchtime as this is rolling.
It gets me closer to food if we talk about it. So for somebody who might be watching at home, open water swimming and pool swimming, are they the same? Are they different? What should somebody know, in 60 seconds to 90 seconds before they step into the ocean, or allow their kids who are maybe really competent pool swimmers? What should they know that's different about being in the open water versus being in a pool?
Same medium, different animal. It's water. It's turbulent. Pool is controlled. Open water is not. A pool can change also, but open water, totally different animal. Beach, zero entry. The takeaway is think neon, as bright as you can. Everything neon. No blue, no brown, no black, no white.
You're talking about a tire?
Tire.
Yeah.
This is not what I would wear in open water. I have open water gear, I call it. Mm-hmm. Neon
high visibility.
Bikini, high visibility.
Safety orange.
Safety orange, safety yellow, safety green.
Good tip.
Always, always, always. And put the cell phones down. I'm looking directly at the camera when I say this. I do not bring my cell phone to a pool or to the ocean. I have parents text me all the time. I'm running late. I'm behind in traffic. I don't care because I'm not looking at my cell phone because I'm at a body of water. And what's important is the 2 humans on this sofa. And I reiterate that. I teach that to children. Who is the most important person in this pool? And sometimes it takes children a long time to realize it's them.
Yeah.
Who's the strongest boy in this pool? I am. I was sharing with Rob. I was at Swimmies this morning. Swimmies is also a Kasia word. 5-year-old. And he put his foot in and he said, Miss Kasia, this pool is too cool for me to enter. And my immediate response to him was, that is a great decision.
I don't know why when you told me that, I saw him as like an Oliver Twist character, and he's like, Miss Kasia, this pool is too chilly for me to step in.
He's amazing. I think all children are brilliant.
Yeah.
I flat out ask children, are you done with me when I'm teaching them? Are you done with me? Yes or no, or no, not so much, because that's another one of my phrases. Not so much, Miss Kasia. But this young man said, it is too cool for me to enter.
Yeah.
That's a great decision.
Yeah.
It was 72 degrees. Shaded pool. There's so many factors.
Yeah.
There's so many factors involved. Kids don't thermoregulate like we do. They are human heaters.
Right. They never. My children's lips will be blue coming out of the ocean. I'm like, are you cold?
Yes,
and they're like,
cold?
no. They
No.
get a snack and they're right back in.
They have their thermoregulation is so much different than ours is. About to age 8-ish, 9. So we need to protect them.
Yeah.
We need to protect them.
Yeah.
But, ocean water, pool is controlled, ocean is not.
Yeah.
We can control how we supervise. We can control getting them safer. we can control hydrating them and sunscreening them.
Yeah.
And dressing them appropriately.
Yeah.
So
one other tip to add to that, if I may, this is just Rob. I'm not the Mobile Mermaid and not a swim professional. But if you're there with a spouse or a significant other, communicate with each other, because it's hard to pay attention to the kids when you're at the beach at all times. Like my wife wants to sunbathe or take a nap or something. So if somebody's tapping out on parent duty, let your spouse know, hey, I'm taking a few minutes. You watch the kids and communicate between each other.
Perfect.
Let's talk about pierogies for the people. We got 5-6 minutes left. I was hoping you were going to bring some pierogies. I'm not going to lie, but I understand they're in high demand. And when they're gone, they're gone. Tell us a little bit about, your background, how it became a thing, and then how you sort of use that as one of the ways that you give back to the community.
Pierogi for the People was born when the war began in February of 2022.
Yeah.
And my mom was Ukrainian and daddy was Polish. I like pierogi. I like potatoes.
Who doesn't?
I carb load in the winter.
Salt, potatoes, and meat. Like, that's all you need. Yeah.
That's basically
Throw some butter on it, some fat.
So that said, I was like, how can we raise some money for Ukraine?
Mm-hmm.
Samaritan's Purse was already on the ground. They had hospitals there. They had care there. So when I decided to begin Pierogi for the People, it was a matter of getting 5 kitchens. 5 people stepped up, and we made pierogies on the island. I live in Curie Beach. And so Pleasure Island had pierogi makers. And we sold pierogi the first day. We raised some $6,500. The second day, time that we sold pierogi in March was another $1,600 or $1,700. We're currently going to be selling pierogi the Saturday before Thanksgiving this year and the Saturday before Christmas this year. Those dates are out there on Pierogi for the People Facebook page. But it became a fundraiser for Ukraine. And then it became a realization that people worldwide are giving to Ukraine. And I'm so thankful for that as the daughter of a woman born and raised in Ukraine. And then I thought, how can we can make pierogi and sell them. People donate a lot of money for good homemade pierogi.
Heck yeah.
And so
I'll get out of bed for some food.
There you go. And so we started raising money for people, families, groups in our Cape Fear area. And to date, we've raised lots and lots of money for folks. We literally will just hand them the proceeds of, there's no overhead. People have been amazingly, donated the ingredients, if you will. And we have a lot of fun making pierogi.
Yeah.
Where I get people together in the kitchen and just have at it.
That's what food is. Food is a community event.
Yes, it's a community event.
We make it together. We share it, eat it, enjoy it together.
That's how the women in the old country used to do it. Yeah. And they would make pierogi like every day. That still blows my mind. I'm like, okay, this is like a task.
Yeah.
It is. It's labor intensive.
Yeah.
So but Pierogi for the People, here we are, 2.5 years into this, and it's just been full and amazing.
Yeah, well, put it on your calendar, because this will air long before November and December. But Pierogies for the People on Facebook.
Pierogi is already plural.
Yeah, I think of Wayne's World.
That's okay.
I don't even. You bought me a gun rack. I don't even own a gun, let alone many guns to facilitate or to necessitate an entire rack.
But pierogi, and Pierogi for the People. Pierogi in American, vareniki in Ukrainian. Vareniki is varit to boil.
Okay.
So, but people don't know what vareniki are. So I was like, okay, I want to raise money for Ukraine.
Yeah.
But we're going to use the Polish word. So, people don't care as long as they're getting their pierogi. They're like, they don't care as long as they get their carb loads.
You have a lot of Kasia-isms.
I do have Kasia-isms.
Do you ever use Ukrainish to describe your Ukrainian and Polish descent? I'm Ukrainish.
No, but thank you, Rob. We just got a Robism.
There you go. Well, I'm giving it to you. It's my gift as your guest on this podcast.
Ukrainish. I like that.
Yeah. There you go.
I like
just
that.
Just came to me.
I like
in a moment of inspiration.
But many things I do are Ukrainish.
Yeah.
like my watch that was gifted to me by a grandparent. But it's blue and yellow for Ukraine and red and white for Poland. And then red, white, and blue for America.
The watch is, now we got to add an even additional
Okay, we got to think of another
yeah.
something.
I'll work on it.
Okay,
I'll
just
test it.
just text me.
Put it on the R&D.
Just let me know.
It's amazing how quickly 20 minutes can go when you're having fun. We're there.
We're there.
We're there. You're booked this year. Do you sometimes have cancellations where you can
that's the running joke is that, I have many times parents just put me on your
I'll be there.
cancellation list.
Okay.
And my response is, I've been doing this for 40 years. I've maybe had two handfuls of cancellations.
Okay. Well, I got good retention there.
I do have, and I have families that continue to have babies.
Yeah.
I mean, there's that. So they're my established families.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, go ahead and put us down. We're pregnant with twins. And I'm like, okay, I'll put you down for 2025 then, right?
Booking now till 2028.
But it's a good problem to have.
Yeah,
and I'm just so thankful for the community embracing me. I absolutely love what I get to do. I do have some dates and times available at the end of August and first week of September.
Well, so just share your contact information there. How would you prefer people get in touch with you?
Text me. Text me.
Are you okay with putting your number out on the internet?
My Google Voice number, yes. My Google Voice number is 910-707-3707. I will get back with you as soon as possible. I often tell parents, usually moms, when dads reach out, that's a huge thing for me, that when a dad reaches out, it's a rarity.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Not to slight present company and males, but I always tell moms, they're like, wow, that was a quick reply or a quick phone call. And be, go, do is my motto, right? Be, go, do. Be the hands and feet, go out into our community, do unto others. If I was a mom and I had reached out to an aquatics instructor about swimmies' safety for their child, I would want that off of my worry plate. And that's what I tell parents. I'm like, well, I returned your call because I figured that you're taking your precious time. You've probably got kids running around the house, the kitchen, whatever, but you took the time around dinner time to reach out to me. So I'm going to reach out to you and say, I got your information and let's connect on this.
Yeah.
That's important. It's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a perfect place to bring it to an end. Be, go, do. Right there.
Be, go, do.
That's going to do it for this episode of the Connect Cape Fear podcast. If you are in need of a mobile mermaid, that's your lady. We'll leave your phone number in the captions. People get in touch with you. Shoot her a text and put it on your calendar to go support Pierogi for the people in November and December. That's going to do it for this episode of the Connect Cape Fear podcast. Until next time, be, go, do. Excellent. We'll talk to you. We'll talk to you again later. Thanks for being on, Kasia. Really appreciate you being.
Thank you.
Awesome. Bye, y'all.